out good. He got
Rip it all up and replace it. Anyway, he gave me a price. But right now, that's at least.
I am telling you, lady.
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
I'm trying to feed myself. Appreciate your time earlier this week. Shirley and I were gonna meet today. She scheduled it, okay? Some people go to great lengths just to avoid.
Hey, sit down, I'll go, and I'm sorry, you know what, looking at all these.
I built it now. It's reporting in big years.
I've been walking around for. It's got to be well for me.
Just told him about that.
Yeah. Anyway, I'd like to get reacquainted with you at your fees. I'll wait till next week to do that.
So he's not here to work with us. Here, he won't be here for his own after. We don't come back another day and talk to this man. I figured we could get it. Fair to get good. And I will pick-
But it's gonna be a very
This
busy.
was- Oh, yeah, I'm sure we will. Good man.
You doing them here?
Come on.
Well, they didn't make it on Main. They sold it.
Let's see what's gonna happen.
I said, when I come home, it's gonna be.
We'll be that, and everything else. It ain't gonna matter.
I got it. I got
DOT is picking up debris. They've got all their trucks in here. But
I didn't think they were in the city. I thought they were.
yeah, they already started a couple of weeks ago. Bus warehouse. They had started yesterday. They brought more trucks in and just had more today.
And then in my neighborhood,
They didn't do the county first.
so we were getting ready.
No, they're.
We are. We are, John, you ready?
Aren't they bringing it in? Which I guess they start.
Yeah.
They call me.
I found out. Did you
Read your phone.
Funny if I'm just on silent. So we're ready.
Check it out.
You know, tell everybody else turn theirs off, I'll turn it down on we're gonna call the September 24th, 2020 city council meeting to order. Ms. Landry, will lead us in prayer, so we'll probably with the pledge of allegiance.
Father, we just come to you tonight, humbly into your presence, Lord, seeking your protection. There's a storm headed our way, and as you know, we've been hit twice before. And although we weathered it through, it begins to get weary. And we are weary, Lord, of fighting the storms. But you're in control, and you can keep us all safe. And I pray that you would do that. I pray that you would be with those who are working the storm or will work it afterwards, that you would give them all the strength and stamina and wisdom that they need to do what needs to be done. Tonight, Lord, I pray that you would be with this council. Help us to make wise decisions, decisions that would help the citizens of Perry and not hurt. In Christ's name I pray, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
This is one with Andy. Ford. I'll make sure at the same time.
Councilmember Bruns,
Yeah.
Councilmember Hanson,
Here.
Councilmember Woodball, Vice Mayor Landry.
Here,
Mayor Ketchum.
Here. Approval of items on the consent agenda. Do I have a motion?
motion,
Second.
Councilmember Bruns,
Yes.
Councilmember Hanson,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
yes,
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Receiving requests from the general public. Do we have anyone that wants to approach the council that is not on the agenda? Seeing and hearing no one. We'll go to item number 5, which is bids, and we don't have any bids open this week. So we'll go to general business. Agenda item 6A. Has that been, it's been tabled?
Yes.
Okay. Agenda item 6B, is that gonna be a table for another meeting also? Yes. Okay. Agenda item 6C, Jamie Driggers with FDOT to discuss with the council the Michelin mobility pavement condition assessment, and council will take any action deemed necessary. Good evening.
Good evening. Let me begin by saying thanks for the opportunity to come before you today. As introduced, my name is Jamie Driggers. I'm the Planning and Environmental Management Engineer for the Florida Department of Transportation District 2 region. As you all,
raise your mic, please.
as you are all quite familiar, yes, okay.
Yes, thank you.
But just kind of tying back, as you're all probably familiar, we've been in partnership with City of Perry and DOT, and of course, Michigan Mobility is here as well with me today. And we were able to do a first phase, kind of a pilot introduction to the utilization of technology for pavement condition analysis. We're at the point we want to go forward with phase 2, which essentially is analyzing all the city streets in Perry. But before doing so, we want to make sure there's a real good, solid understanding of the technology and the application, and how big of a deal this is for us in the greater city. As you all can imagine, the Department of Transportation District 3 region is, we cover 18 counties, 14 of them being rural, ready eligible. The resources are just not the same. And we're trying to look at creative solutions, utilizing technology where we can do more, make better decisions with more information on the front end of the process. So with that, before we make the formal ask to be able to go to the phase 2 opportunity, I want to have Michigan Mobility here just to kind of give a walkthrough of the actual process, the tool, and give you all the opportunity to ask questions. Glenn is here. He drove from Orlando today to definitely being here, but it's really an open opportunity. He's going to go through a presentation, and after which, if you have questions, please ask. And the formal ask today, as a close, we're ready to go to the final implementation. If the board is supportive of that, we will make the move and go forward. So with that, I'm introducing Glenn.
Thank you. Good evening.
Hi, good evening. My name is Glenn Hutchison with just Mobility Intelligence. Slide, just skip over that. I'll just talk a little bit about here real quick. So what we do is we provide pavement assessments to municipalities all over the United States. Very simply put, traditionally, this is traditionally done by an engineer who out visually assess the road, looks at the road, a section of it anyways, decides what that condition rating is. It's only on a per section basis. It's not the entire road network. Go to the next slide, please. And click again, sorry. Here we go. So we first start off with map confirmation. Essentially, this is all the city's maintained roads. So we confirm the map and we use that throughout the rest of the process. Next, we would mount a cell phone, mount it next to the rear view mirror. Go ahead and click the next one. And you simply just drive the network. So very simply, we're taking in all that video and data that the phone is recording. And you go to the next one. And what the operator is doing is essentially following turn-by-turn directions. And then simply goes back to the office, uploads all the data through the application, And then we take all that data, we produce a map. Now, that map that was delivered to you guys already with the pilot project that we did, that you guys saw in the last meeting, or several meetings ago. What we do is we take that video and we break it down into an image, and that image is every 10 feet. So every 10 feet, you have an image across your entire network. Now, our AI.
Look like it's time to run in circles and scream at this point.
What does it say?
Hurricane warning.
Okay.
36 hours.
So I'll cut this short, but essentially, we take that video, we break it down into images, and images are set at every 10 feet across the entire network. Now, this gives you an AI rating through every single image. So our AI assigns the rating. So it's a very objective approach, which is traditionally a very subjective process. You can go and click the next slide. So just to kind of review what it looks like, right? So this is kind of an example here. You can go to the next one. And the next one here is, so the rates are broken down to 1 through 5. So 1 is important, green is good, red is bad. So 2 is your minor surface damage, but nothing critical. 3 is going to be your appearance of pervasive distresses. And then 4 is where we start to see the significant damage and or emerging critical failures. Worst the worst roads. Worst the worst roads are going to be red. Okay. So essentially you'll have the ability to look at your entire network and not only see from a second level, which is like your street by street level, but also at a 10th level. You'll be able to see what type of condition each of those sections are. Does that make sense? So lastly, next steps, what we have next is that we've already gone through, we've pulled the map with assistance of DOT and Atkins Realis. And we have a full map of the whole entire city. The only thing we need to do is just go ahead and confirm the map with you guys to make sure that number one, all the streets are included, to set that correct expectations that you guys do maintain those roads and that they're not private or HOA like that. And then that's it. We take from there, collect all the data, and everything gets sent to you guys once it's done. Does anyone have any questions? I know it's a lot. You have a lot of interruptions, but.
So you're recording the roads as you drive, is it? Maybe I missed it, maybe you said I missed it, but is it the software actually looking at or is it actually people just looking at it?
That's a great question. It's the video that gets uploaded.
Right.
Now, our AI will look at the video, takes the video and breaks it down to the image. The AI assesses the image, so it goes pixel by pixel and evaluates each image exactly the same. Something that a human would take, forever to do.
Right.
Yeah. So you're talking about, tens of thousands of images for this road network that it automatically evaluates. And you'll have a record as well. You'll have a record of what your current streets look like. Historically, if there's any kind of FEMA situations where you need to get a FEMA grant, this is proof of what the road was at that time.
Right.
So I know that that's also very important to municipalities.
Log into it. Got it on there somewhere.
Yeah. If you go back to the the presentation, there was a link where there's a demo link where you can click on that.
Are these free assessments?
They are not free assessments. No, the pilot project that we did for you guys wasn't free assessment. That was just a pilot that we did to make sure that, hey, this works for you, right? To make sure that you understand that that there's value in it for the city that you guys can actually.
How much will the actual study cost?
So if you guys were going directly to us, like any city would come to us, it would be $100 per center line mile. So center line of the road would be $100 per mile. It's our standard fees.
What would the report that you're talking about tell us beyond what we have already, what you've already done?
So what we've only done was, I think, like 3 or 4 miles. I believe the city has 71 center line miles. That's about where we're at currently. So what you have now is just identified as go out and get the data for these streets and supply us with that. With that, and then we just did that, and now you have the opportunity of the entire city to get a full view of your entire road network, so you can understand where your good routes are, where your bad routes are from a glance. The best thing about our system is that you don't have to be an engineer. You know, we can look at colors and say, okay, green is good, that is bad, yellow is pretty good, you know, orange is not so good. So it makes it easier to identify all of it.
That's what we got out of, that we went over 3 meetings ago, I believe. They would do this for the whole city.
So you'd have the interactive map, but you'd also have the ability to export the data to a spreadsheet that you could further then develop your payment management.
So what would be the cost of getting all of it done? Just. What would be the cost of getting the whole city? Put there,
Yeah, sure. Of course, I'll say this now, there will not be any cost burden on the city of Perry. The reason we're piloting this, so we're still working through that, to answer your question. The ultimate deliverable objective that we committed to John is not only the condition analysis, and I'll say this, the value of this tool is subjective. You know, when you take three individuals have different perceptions of bad and good. It doesn't matter where you are, it's just AI intelligence. So that's the baseline value. And I use this as a reference term, good, better, best. You know, DOT is a process. We have this formalized system where we rate roads annually, and we do ride, crack methodologies, very, very expensive. But we need that level of accuracy because we're making hundreds of millions of dollars of decisions on where to invest our resources. The value of this technology is fast. It can be independently, the data collection can be managed by your own staff. You can update it. Your pace of needs are very different than the types of volumes and capacities that we carry on our roadway systems. I hate to even say a number because we're still iterating through that, but the end goal deliverable is going to be a pavement condition analysis. And also based on the number of higher adversity rated systems, what would it cost from a financial planning tool? So at the end of the day, you will have a report that says, you know, these are your problematic sections of roadway, and here is a forecast of what's going to cost for you to resurface them at this day and time. It gives you the ability to plan long term for your needs. Out of this may come, you know, you may have a top 10, you may have a top 20. We don't know that until we do that full analytics. But once again, the reason we're picking this up is we wanted to target an area where we got a good partnership going. And we want to pilot this and look at a comparable of the traditional method and the technology base. If we find they align very well, this is something we could do on an entire 18 county basis, that we could help other rural communities plan better for future needs. And you say, well, why do we care? Well, we have Scott municipality programs, we have Scott, we have Scrap, we have programs that are committed to local agencies. And we want to empower you all to plan for the future and look for those opportunities. And this is just a first step to making good practical decisions based on an objective data source.
Did I understand you to say that it would not cost the city of Perry anything? Correct.
It will not cost the city. This is truly a pilot delivery. We are trying to prove out the technology, prove out the planning approach. And if this works, I'd ultimately like to pursue planning grants and different resources on a larger scale, maybe cover a larger vicinity of the entire 18 county region.
So
This is the first step. This is brand new. It is aligning very well that working with John, we know we have, you know, your needs are far outweigh your resources. And it just made sense to come here and start here as a baseline. The number of miles are not so profound. It's something that's just out of our scale of being able to do with our own staff resources. We've got a great pilot opportunity in partnership with Michelin. We'll test it out, we'll prove it out, and then based on the feedback from you all, I hope, and I don't want to commit to the time frame because obviously we're still working through it, but I hope to be able to come back in the same format and say, hey, here's the product. Did that meet your needs? If it didn't, we'll adjust.
So what do you need from us?
I would just like, before we do anything, before we make any investment in the community, we just want to make sure that the commission and staff is on board with the plan and approach. And we all understand, even the communication of it. You know, I hope that when we get to the final deliverable, we all kind of self-reflect and say, hey, this is going to make a difference in our community. That's all I'm looking for. And just the concurrence to say, hey, we've done a quick response pilot, turned around very expeditiously. And we want to go look at the bigger plan. I think
71 centerline miles currently, yeah.
So roughly,
Roughly confirmed, John does.
so approximately 70 to 80 miles. Obviously, we'll confirm with staff, but that's kind of what we're looking at. Actually putting on the ground, and we would give you this representation once again, the financial plan. and then you can utilize that as a planning resource.
Sounds like an excellent planning tool that we don't have.
Yes, it is.
We don't know.
We used to go to.
This is a lot to chew on though. I mean, we got a lot right there.
It is, it's good info.
We already did all the orange ones,
We've done some.
We've done all of this.
the orange ones. I believe we got all those, didn't we?
Yeah, some of those are the same street, just different sections. There's only like
Right,
4 streets, 5 streets. I don't remember how many they done. It wasn't many.
okay. Okay, so that's been done.
But there's probably,
It's still in the works. They haven't completed
I
yet.
can assure you, there's some bridges out there right now that we didn't get paid, but if we had this data.
Yeah.
We'd be doing the right streets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it'd be easier to get a grant when I put it in and it's a 5 and the next city over is trying to get some 3s done.
And that is part of my ask is we want to go bigger. We know the impact this is going to make on communities as far as planning for the future. And I would hope that as a sponsorship, we prove this out. If we do pursue a grant or something, I'd love to say, hey, City of Perry, weigh in, what's your feedback? You liked it, you loved it. And then we could actually, go for the bigger opportunity of Taylor County and beyond, cover the entire region.
I feel like this was certainly a big help in helping us determine where to start, where to go, and that sort of thing. Absolutely.
Second.
What?
I second your motion.
Oh, you're seconding my motion? Did I make a motion?
I thought Michelin was a tire company. What's that here about? I thought Michelin was a tire company.
No, we do more than just tires. It's where I like to say where the rubber meets the road.
I thought tire company didn't want rough roads.
Yeah, no, we've expanded.
And it makes sense, rightfully so. They're in the transportation industry, the impact vice versa, quality roads, quality systems, and the effects it has on, on the other side of their industry as well, so.
I was gonna say, I appreciate what you have done and what you're gonna do, and looking forward to seeing that data. It's, interesting, very interesting. Some information we definitely need.
A motion on the floor. I guess, Bill seconded it.
Okay.
I didn't need it, but it won't hurt.
Oh, yeah.
Councilmember Rhines,
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes,
Mayor Ketchering.
Yes. Thank y'all very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. I will move. U through Z up and now, Sandy's here. Instead of waiting all the way to the end.
What you said again?
U through Z.
All right. Let's get to agenda item 6U. Introduction and first reading of ordinance number 1037. An ordinance of the city of Perry, Florida relating to an amendment of 100 or less acres of land to the future land use plan map of the city of Perry's comprehensive plan pursuant to an application LUPMA 24-01 by the property owner of said acreage under the amendment procedures established in sections 163, 3161 through 163, 3248. Florida statutes as amended. Providing for changing the land use classification of property located within the North Central Florida rural area of opportunity from agricultural less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per acre to industrial of certain lands within the corporate limits of the city of Perry, Florida. Providing severability, repealing ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date. This is just basically going from ag to industrial on the zoning.
3 land use changes and 3 zoning changes to go from ag to industrial for Andy's land.
But we got to do them all individually.
These 3 parcels right here. This is just the first reading.
what are some of the main roads that are,
It's 19 Thomas Dents on the north side.
okay,
You got Warner coming down here, and it does connect. Where is it, Andy?
Oak Street.
Oak Street.
Oh, Jackson Road.
It is. Just south of the sawmill,
It's what?
south of the sawmill.
South of the sawmill. Has this been before the Board of Adjustments?
Yes. They approved it their last meeting, and that goes for y'all for a first and final reading.
Have a motion? No,
First reading.
first reading there, man.
Just got a letter reading.
Okay. I'll go ahead and shoot through them then. Agenda item 6, Victor, B. Introduction and first reading of ordinance number 1038. An ordinance of the city of Perry, Florida, relating to an amendment of 100 or less acres of land to the future land use plan map of the city of Perry comprehensive plan, pursuant to an application LUPMA 24-02 by the property owner of said acreage under the amendment procedures established in section 163.3161 through 163.3248 Florida statutes as amended, providing for changing the land use classification of property located within the North Central Florida rural area of opportunity from agricultural less than or equal to 1 dwelling per unit acre to industrial of certain lands within the corporate limits of the city of Perry, Florida, providing severability, repealing our ordinance of conflicts, and providing for an effective date. Any discussion on that one? Now we'll move on to agenda item 6W. Introduction and first reading of ordinance number 1039. An ordinance of the city of Perry, Florida, relating to an amendment of 100 or less acres of land to the future land use plan map of the city of Perry comprehensive plan, pursuant to an application LUPMA 24-03 by the property owner of said acreage under the amendment procedures established in section 163.3161 through 163.3248 Florida statutes as amended. Providing for the changing of the land use classification of property located within the North Central Florida rural area of opportunity from agricultural less than or equal to 1 dwelling unit per acre to industrial of certain lands within the corporate limits of the city of Perry, Florida, providing severability, repealing ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date. Have any discussion on that one? Not, we'll move on to agenda item 6X. Introduction and first reading of ordinance number 1040. An ordinance of the city of Perry, Florida, relating to the rezoning of 10 or more contiguous acres of land pursuant to an application Z 24-01 by the property owner of said acreage, amending the official zoning atlas of the city of Perry land development regulations, providing for rezoning from agricultural 1 or A1 to industrial I of certain lands within the corporate city limits of the city of Perry, Florida, providing severability, repealing our ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date. Do we have any discussion on that one?
Is this the same property?
So those 3 parcels.
Those 3 parcels, but
Future
this
land use.
refers to the first one.
I'm sure it does.
They do.
Okay.
Yeah, they kind of, we do the land use change and we do the zoning change. Okay, agenda item 6Y, introduction of first reading of ordinance number 1041. An ordinance of the city of Perry, Florida, relating to the rezoning of 10 or more contiguous acres of land pursuant to an application Z 24-02 by the property owner of said acreage, amending the official zoning atlas of the city of Perry land development regulations, providing for rezoning from agricultural 1 or A1 to industrial zoning I of certain lands within the corporate limits of the city of Perry, Florida, providing severability, repealing ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date. Have any discussion on that one? Hearing none, we'll go to agenda item 6Z. Introduction and first reading of ordinance number 1041.
Should say.
Thank you. An ordinance of, okay, introduction and first reading of ordinance number 1042. An ordinance of the city of Perry, Florida, relating to the rezoning of 10 or more contiguous acres of land pursuant to an application C 24-03 by the property owner of said acreage, amending the official zoning atlas of the city of Perry land development regulations, providing for rezoning from agricultural 1 or A1 to industrial or I of certain lands within the corporate limits of the city of Perry, Florida, providing severability, repealing ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date. Do you want to have any discussion on that one?
I'd like to ask Ms. Jackson, I don't know what you're going to do, but good luck.
Thank you.
We need it.
We all need a win.
Yes, we
Yeah.
do. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Let's see, agenda item 6D, has that one been tabled? All right. Agenda item 6E, public hearing and final read of ordinance number 1044, garbage rates. An ordinance of the city of Perry, Florida pertaining to the amendment of utility rates, appendix A, schedule of fees and charges, garbage and trash monthly charges, providing for the severability of the parts hereof if declared invalid, repealing ordinances in conflict, and providing an effective date. That's the one going up $2 per month on household garbage.
I'm against it. I just don't think it's time.
I thought this was, excuse me, I'm sorry.
I think it's time for us to raise and raise. Especially at this hurricane coming, we don't know what our future holds for our constituents. And that ARPA money, American Rescue Plan, we were supposed to use some of that to help our citizens, which we never did. So I'm gonna motion that we not increase the rates. I've done my part.
I have a question. I thought it only affected garbage or trash, not both.
So
Yeah, that's lumped together.
On the bill, it's one charge for garbage and trash. I didn't look at my bill that close.
It was $20 now and it's looking to go under 22 and they cover it back.
Well, if it would help get the trash picked up, I'll vote for it. Cause I sure am tired of seeing it out there.
As they can help you get, as they can help you.
It costs so much, whatever that amount is, to pick up garbage and trash. We are committed to paying that, and we got no choice.
I understand that.
I do not want to, the garbage rates that we've gotten out, they do not pay that bill. We use water or something else to pay that bill.
I respect
And we would have to increase water or something to pay the bill. And the one that would do it is garbage, and they still won't pay the bill.
But you get us closer.
It,
We'd lose less money,
it,
or it would lose less money.
it covers what we pay cash out,
Plus,
that's all.
plus, according to what we got from. Anyway, I.
I make a motion to, adopt ordinance 1044.
I second it.
Made a motion for what, I'm sorry? Oh, to adopt it. Councilmember Bruns?
Yes,
Councilmember Hampton?
No,
Vice Mayor Landry?
Yes,
Mayor Ketchum?
Yes. And we also, at the same time, we have a responsibility to make sure we are able to pick up the garbage.
We need to, the garbage truck right now, they're 360,000 each. Can't do that when you're breaking even.
I think we do a good job on the garbage, it's the trash.
When our garbage trucks aren't running, we have more men out there having to pick up garbage. We've been picking it up with the backhoe this week. Because one of our trucks we've had issues with trucks. And our backup trucks is in the shop right now being repaired. The one we used when other garbage truck's down.
I didn't want to say anything else about this, but we just would let it go and go. I don't know whether your constituents come to you about anything or not. Why do you all keep raising our rates? And here we are with all these new trucks, speaking of things, police trucks. Raising, you're doing this, you're doing that, but you never think about the constituents. You think that we're supposed to pay every day. Every year, we raise a rate. We never think about our constituents. And I'm done with it.
I disagree with you, Shirley. I think we do think about,
You have this your opinion, you know.
thank you. Can I express it? We do think about the constituents because our number one job is to provide the services.
I understand.
And that's what we're trying to do.
We still
And it takes money.
We still need to think about constituents. Sometimes
I'm sorry.
we need to think about constituents. Sometimes.
Well, that's what I just said. We are.
Well, we know.
We're thinking about how to provide the services for them at the lowest cost. But there comes a time when you gotta get it in line, and we're there.
That's your opinion
Yes, ma'am.
and rate
All right.
will fine.
Agenda item 6F, resolution 2024-18. Council to conduct a public hearing on the city of Perry setting a final millage rate for fiscal year 2024 to 2025. And to take any action deemed necessary.
Same as last time, to adopt the rollback rate.
Right, to actually lower the millage rate.
Yes. The rollback.
Services.
motion,
Second.
Councilmember Rhines?
yes,
Councilmember Hampton?
This one, millage rate,
Yes.
yes.
Vice Mayor Landry?
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum?
Yes. Agenda item 6G, resolution 2024-19. Council to conduct public hearing on the city of Perry setting a final budget for fiscal year 2024-2025, and take any action deemed necessary.
The budget's the same as the last one.
I did.
Did,
Did we change anything on capital outlay?
These are all the ones I cut out of capital outlay. Before we got started, 2.8 million in requests.
I can't see.
Anyway, we have any discussion about the budget as it is? Not, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion.
Second.
Councilmember Bruns.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yeah.
Councilmember, or Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Agenda item 6H, resolution. Yes, sir.
Word of caution, I guess. We've got a lot of capital outlay funded by the ARPA. And we're close to the end of the fiscal year. Everybody that's got capital outlay, you need to get on it and get it spec'd so it can be bid and everything happen when it's supposed to happen, because we don't want to get caught with money that's, we may have to return.
Sure. All right, agenda item 6H, resolution 2024-20, compensation for board members. A policy resolution of the city of Perry, Florida, in reference to the planning and zoning board, board of adjustments and tree board's compensation and providing for an effective date. That's basically going from 50 to 75 per month for, and then 75 to 100 for the chairpersons.
To make it easier, we just said 25 for each board, since they're all on. the
It's
three boards.
just to clean up, right?
And increase it by 25.
Yeah.
Y'all asked them.
Motion.
Councilmember Bryan,
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Agenda item 6I, resolution 2024-21, SRF loan application for wastewater. A resolution of the city of Perry, Florida, relating to the state revolving fund loan program. Making findings, authorizing the loan application, authorizing the loan agreement, establishing pledged revenues, designating authorized representatives, providing assurances, providing for conflicts, severability, and an effective date.
This is to start the engineering plan for the phase one. I don't know if y'all remember, it was a 22-year plan, I think 11 or 12 different phases. This is 6 projects in phase one that they found to be the most critical need. This will just be the design of engineering. It'll be $696,000 as a loan, and we'll be borrowing the rest of whatever's left after taking that away from 870.
Motion.
A motion, do we have a second?
Second.
Councilmember Bryan. Councilmember Hampton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes. Agenda item 6J. Council to discuss the elected officials being sworn in alongside the county commissioners on Friday, November 18th, 2024 at 3 p.m. on the second floor of the courthouse, courtroom B, and take any action being necessary.
Judge Blue and, Dana Sullivan asked if y'all could just be sworn in with them at the courthouse.
Does everybody gather them? One and done?
It'll be like refreshments.
Yes.
That's what we did on the first. Let's see it.
Oh, yeah. Does that all of us? No, we didn't run this year.
Should be 3 of y'all.
Then you don't have to go unless we just want to.
Let's make the judge happy. We might need it sometime.
Good idea.
Have a motion, or
Motion.
do we need one?
That person show up at the right time.
Please remember this.
Or we're sworn in, can't vote, meet that.
Agenda item 6K. Council to review job descriptions for mechanic 1 and mechanic 2 positions and take any action deemed necessary.
Back in discussion about a mechanic. 1 becoming a mechanic 2 after certain criteria are met. But he'd asked to bring back the actual job descriptions and they're fairly identical. Same thing worded different ways.
So you could, someone would have to just about have to go through mechanic 1 before they can go to a 2.
We have it set up now. The mechanic 1 is a position. There's no way to progress to them.
Right,
You
I
know,
understand all that. We're going forward, I go back. Before you could become a mechanic 2, you would have to be a mechanic 1.
Yes.
For the most part. How long, is it say, how long in here?
That's what we're trying to come up with, some kind of criteria.
Yeah, how long would it take to get the, class 3 license?
Distribution license requires 6 months.
Six
And the operator folks want not to go with it. So about the same period as your normal probation period to the city.
Mhm. I'd at least 2 years myself.
About a year was enough time to get some of the other training done.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's enough time to, kind of evaluate someone. If they're ready to be on the next level.
mhm.
If your superintendent doesn't recommend you to be there, and you need more training, it's fine too.
Mhm.
At the mill, you actually went to review your whole team. It's kind of awkward. 22 of y'all sitting in there talking about the one guy, if he's ready for the next level or not.
Well,
Hmm. Hmm.
I don't know if we want to do that. I think it should be the superintendent.
If anything, maybe the crew leader as well, just to have a second in the room.
They work more with them. Last meeting, you said just get it done, and I like that answer. But then Benita asked to bring it back,
Yeah,
So we decide anything or?
well, I guess the only thing that I can see we need to decide is the time period.
But it would be different for each department too.
It would be,
Yes, sir, like the requirements, like my mechanics would need to be a little more, inclined with electricity.
Yeah.
Things like that.
yeah, you know, about the, skills,
that's why it's up to the
Yeah.
superintendent.
yeah.
But I want, at least gotta be a minimum there. You can't be there 1 month and say, oh, he's ready.
Yes.
Let's just make it two.
What I would say is, and I'm not saying mechanic 1 or mechanic 2, maybe they're hired as a mechanic 2, but they're not hired at the pay until their 6 months is over with, and at that time, if they can't do their job in 6 months, maybe they need to find another job.
Bill Brown, then.
I'm just saying like 6 months, if you can't do the basic stuff, I mean, how much time do you really want to invest? Someone who has
Well,
picked
we're
up,
talking about 2 different things now, talking about probationary period, the 6 months.
Yeah.
And then we're talking about moving,
This is more of a progressive.
so, yeah,
It's a period of time with the supervisor's recommendation period.
yeah,
And leave it up to that superintendent whether they recommend it or not. Just build that into, not just the time period.
If you want an exact time period thrown in there, I would say at least just the probation period. Yeah, I wouldn't go any further than that.
It's probation, 6 months.
The minimum 6 months and at least be off probation before being recommended to move up the same position. At the very
As
least.
compared to the other mechanic.
It's a little short to me. Anybody can be good for 6
A
months.
year
So you say a year, I keep hearing, I've heard a year more than I have anything else, so. A year,
Thought you heard 6 months. That's what I've heard.
I heard both, but I heard a year more.
I would like
thought I
the
did.
employees, you know, what's the word for initiative to kind of help decide that too. If you got somebody who comes in off the street, they have a lot of experience, they may go through it faster than an 18-year-old who don't know anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And another thing is too, the mechanic one is such a low paying job. We have a hard time filling positions anyway, and, you know, there needs to be kind of a clear path for that person to say, hey, I can become a two, I can make more money with this path or this amount of time. That's my concern with it, because you're talking, between the two positions, you're talking almost $3 an hour. Two something. And
I think it's a good thing for the superintendent, because you'll have ones coming to you asking, why am I not getting my money yet? You can say, I think you need to work on these couple things until you're ready to be there.
Why can't you accomplish all of this for evaluations?
Because there is no way to get from a 1 to a 2, because you're stuck in that role.
We can't do that for evaluation. You don't do a performance or we don't do performance evaluation raises or anything, so there's no benefit for, you know, I mean, yeah, we tell the guys what they need, we tell them what they need to work on through it. There's no, you know, just.
The difference here is it's
That times
classification.
step increases, I mean, in my opinion.
Evaluations are a useful tool, but in this case, evaluation doesn't change your title from mechanic 1 to a mechanic 2. That's what we're just trying to establish.
Right.
How do we make that progression possible?
It's possible. If a mechanic 2 never retires and never moves on, you can be stuck as a mechanic 1 for 30 years, doing the same job right next to him.
Is there an exam or, you know, to get certified or anything like that you go through? I mean,
For gas department, we do all our stuff through Energy WorldNet. There's a series of like 20 or 30 tests. Some of them might be 20, 30 minutes long, some 45 to an hour. There's, I mean, it's different for each department. So we have our own stuff and it's all online, and I do our field stuff, which we do it in the department, and they have that what they do, and they have what they do.
it seems to me if they pass the test, they would qualify.
That's.
Exactly.
But if he can work a wrench and pass the test, that's what Sean's trying to say.
Well, then does it qualify?
well, that's what I'm saying, like, you know, training, if there's 6 months, they haven't picked up basic skills.
Right.
You know, how much time we want to invest in them. If they pass and they become a mechanic 2, and then 2 years later, they're messing up and they're not doing their job, I can put them back on probation, I'll write them up. I mean, that's neither here nor there. It don't matter if somebody's 20 years. If they're doing their job, you gotta take the actions to correct behavior.
Agreed.
I just want somebody to get in and have a clear path to the mechanic 2 to make the money. And if it's left up to me, that's fine, because I have no problem denying it to someone if they're not doing what they're supposed to do. But it just needs to have some policy written so I can have teeth to properly dismiss someone or promote someone.
Well, I don't have the, job description to look at, so I can't help you there. You did, oh, is it in here?
You might not put that in there.
I stand corrected.
No, it is not. Okay.
I guess I'm confused as to why you need us to tell you how to get this done.
Only because it affects the budget by here. We're budgeted for a mechanic 2 and a mechanic 1. If we do this program, you can have,
Okay,
Oh,
come
okay,
back and
please.
tell us you need $1 extra. That's the right time. I don't think we need to be, the council should be involved in what you're
We
doing.
might have to change the job descriptions, because right now the job descriptions are basically the same. And then mechanic 1 would then turn into a training position for mechanic 2. So you'd have to change the job description.
I would think that this job description would, when I read it, would tell me how I can what the criteria are that I've got to accomplish to come to.
I agree with all that. My issue with it was the way we budget. I'm not allowed to knowingly go over budget. We don't have 3 mechanic twos in the budget. We have 2 mechanic twos and mechanic one. If we want to do some kind of plan where you can go up, we just need to always budget for 3 mechanic twos and be done with it. But we just pass it, but
Yeah, but it can be amended. That may be the simplest way to,
then I don't have to.
if you got the criteria, if I'm a 1 and I meet all the criteria. Positive evaluation,
Passing the test, turning the wrenches.
you're trying to accomplish something to keep people.
At the mill, you had a maximum time you could be at that level. They didn't want a whole group of ones. They want you to go to 1, 2, 3, 4.
Well, if you're in that one position,
3 years, we don't need you around here.
yeah, we don't need you after 6 months. If you can't make it, it's just another evaluation, really.
So basically, that makes mechanic one like a training job, if you will.
Which is you.
Or proving ground.
True, and then your goal is to get the mechanic 2 within a year, 6 months, whatever.
That'll work. We can just do a budget amendment when it comes up, and then next budget, we'll budget for all mechanic twos. And we just use that as a progression step,
Well, you have to have one.
each department.
Huh?
Each department.
No, I say each department, you'd have to have a 1 and a 2.
Yeah, but if you have a way to get from 1 to a 2,
Yeah.
then you won't have any ones. Everybody will be a 2.
You could possibly wind up with all
Well,
2.
you can have a one that you have to build.
You got to start at a 1.
And the reality, once he gets to that 2, there won't be any ones that end up getting paid.
But you have to be hired in as a one, then on time
Yeah.
of grade, recommendation, or whatever it's gonna be before you.
I think he's saying just budget as if it's a 2.
Yeah.
And then we
Oh,
hire them in at a 1,
Yeah.
we have it budgeted for 2.
That's
Yeah,
exactly,
exactly what it is.
I got it figured out. I don't even need you anymore.
But it is making it complicated.
Can we go home now?
Yep.
All right.
Almost.
You did that at lunch, we won't work here.
All right, agenda item 6L, council to discuss incentive plan for employees earning Class C and Class B licenses. Take any action deemed necessary. So we're basically talking about the same thing, just letters instead of numbers.
Yep.
Well, I would say this is a little more important because these, like a B license, is time sensitive. Even if you gotta have the time, if we invest the time in the employee and they get the license. And there's really no incentive for them to stay here, they can. I know we'll never match some of the bigger cities, but we're not even in the ballpark. And I don't want to be in a position that every time like somebody retires or somebody just leaves, they were the only licensed person, and then we're chasing this, license again and again and again.
Yeah.
And we're working on a plan to, have all the paperwork, because, in the wastewater side, there's a lot of reports we have to do. And just to have the people in the lab, licensed, knowing what to do, having everything digitized, where it's available for John to see, Danielle, that way if something happens to me or whomever, the next person comes in, everything's laid out for them, and they can, be compliant with DEP. And, the incentive would be, we have 3 operators at the water wastewater. All right, we have to have a B license to run that plant. If we've only got 1 B license holder, technically, if they go on vacation a week, there's supposed to be somebody there 35 hours a week be licensed. So I mean, technically you'd be out of compliance. So the thing is, getting the people licensed, training, and we found a great course through the University of Florida. Costs like $455 that two of the guys are going through now. They're going through them pretty quickly. One will have his license here probably in a month or two. And then after that, luckily he has the time. He can take his B test, his B license. And we would like also for the non-operators, if they want to get their C or B license, there'd be some incentive for them to do so. They don't have to be, big, but like, let's say if one of the mechanic twos want to get their wastewater C license, they're gonna have to log the hours in the book, they're gonna have to learn something about the plant. And that way, if, like Randy Slaughter's been here 38 years, I think 37, 38 years. I mean, he could retire any day. And we have to have somebody to fill his position. And the way it is with the way it's been hiring people, we ain't been, we had to promote within. We haven't brought anybody from the outside with a treatment license.
Because of that, technically, we've been bringing people in who are not currently licensed, so we're not technically in compliance right now, hiring within. The idea that we have is to be able to have somebody back up in-house, not fall out of compliance, and be able to continue operations. Somebody who's already familiar with the plant, who's already licensed and capable to do the job. But in the current position they would be in, they would not be making the same amount as an operator, but something above what they're currently in. So if they're a mechanic two, $1, $2 pay bump above that, but still well below an operator's pay. But some way to compensate them, to make them want to stay and fill that position. We're not desperately hunting somebody when someone leaves.
Like I said, last meeting, 2 license holders. If possible.
Yeah.
If
That would be
possible.
ideal.
Was it water, you gotta have a C, and wastewater, you have to have a B, is that what the?
By our plan specifically, the water side only requires a C license, the wastewater requires a B license
For now,
for now.
like, there's usually some time given, but, DEP, they can change, that's like our biosolid side. We do the local limits, they cut our capacity to 1/8 of what it used to be. Just like that, so.
Will be the pleasure of the council on this.
Do we, give anything back to the employee if they have taken the test, done the work, gotten their license? No
Currently, no.
compensation whatsoever.
Currently, no. If they're not in the seat of the operator when they get that, no.
Okay. If we offered, once they got the license, they'd done the work, got the training and got the license, and we offered to pay for whatever expense that cost them.
The
Whatever
city
the
currently
cost
pays
of
for the
the,
expense of the license work, so that would be.
that's what I was asking.
And we found like in the wastewater, we found a good course, it's fairly inexpensive. It kind of breaks everything down, that's really not the issue, it's just when they do pass the course and they get a license, we sign off on their hours. They're a hot commodity in there.
Mhm.
I go to Tallahassee, Live Oak, Monticello.
So even if we paid for the cost of their, because I thought you said it was $400 or something.
$455 for the wastewater,
We do, we pay for that.
We already paid for that. And no guarantee that they're gonna stay.
No, it's, so far as courses, I mean, it's pretty cheap. I mean, we could put something in there, saying if we pay for it, they leave for a certain amount of time, they gotta pay us back. And we had one employee elect to pay for his own just because he wanted to. And,
You don't wanna get in a battle over $400.
right.
That's what you have.
Like I say, it's pretty cheap to me for the, because the books, if you bought the sewer books, they're $200, not cents. And this takes away the books and it's just condenses it and it takes them through, it's very, I wish I'd known about it here. We found out about it a couple months ago. I don't. I don't want to be in this position all the time. It's like me stepping into my job, there was really nobody here that knew a lot of the paperwork, what had to be done, what had to be turned in. And we're trying to do away with that. So.
Is there a way that you all could just budget for step increases and promotions? And you handle your
Yeah, not here.
employees? You know it needs to happen.
Kind of straightened most of that out last year. Be a nightmare to do something like that.
Big part,
It would be a nightmare to do something like that.
step increases, promotions. Because of,
That's kind of what mechanic one, mechanic two, operator, that is your promotion. That's how you go through the
right,
department. I don't want to get in mechanic two, A, B, C, D.
I think what Bill Bryant, you know, how it used to be. We got 3%, 1.5%, what cost of living, 1.5% went to your
Same thing.
evaluation,
Merit raise.
merit raise. Then if it, I think that's what Shirley's sort of referring to.
There
And it
is,
helps with people
Yeah.
being here 16 years versus starting on the job and in 6 months make the same amount as a person been here 16 years.
there is a step plan pay chart that we have
Right.
that's used to set salary rates and hourly rates. We don't do the merit raises anymore because we had a problem with the less than objective ratings that people do. They don't ever rate them objectively. They rate them to give them the raise, not the job they're doing. And that was one of the reasons, it was done away with years ago for the merit rate. But the council has supplemented that through regular raises through the budget process of 3%. But there is a plan that's followed for financial planning purposes, and physical responsibility purposes of the city. And anybody that is promoted or receives a position above where they're at, there is something that says you'll get this percentage above what you're in now. So that's in there now, and that's what's followed now. But there's not a formal step plan through merit ratings. But it's just, there's a document that's being followed.
I like to say, y'all know what needs to be done. I thank you.
I'll handle it the same way we're handling the mechanic one and two.
I think,
Agree with
I think what John's after here is basically informing you that this is what we're planning on doing, just to let you know what's going on. And if you have any concerns, let's hear about it. That's really what he's doing.
That wasn't what started out, that is what it is.
Yeah. Well, trying to help you out, John.
Well, do we have, do we have any,
The question is the dollar amount.
Yeah,
That's the only
exactly
budget.
right.
And it's gotta be some worthwhile amount.
Well, even if it's a one-time bonus.
This is after they receive the license, yeah.
Well, this isn't the same.
And it's to get your license.
This isn't the same, like, I worked for the city of Tallahassee for a number of years. It wasn't a treatment license, it was just like distribution, collection license. Any test you pass, you got $500. Okay, but that was years ago. And you could get like C, B, and A wastewater, C, or 3, 2, 1 water. But those are lower, a lot lower level license of treatment, water treatment or wastewater treatment. But just,
When you do the bonus, what would happen is an employee is there, 2 employees are there. One passes the test and gets a bonus, and they're still making the same They'll basically the same.
I mean, I would love them to make more money. I would love there to be like $1.50 at least for like a mechanic or someone, or like Lamar, he's a equipment operator. He's been in the city 15 years. He's got enough hours in, log in the book. He could take any course, license. If he passes the test today, he get licensed.
What does he want to?
Well, I think if there was an incentive, he'd probably do it really quickly. And, you know, and I'm not saying like, we only need Bs in the wastewater, so if they get to a B or at least a C, but like, no, we're not gonna pay for stuff we don't need, like an A. But,
We take one.
yeah, I mean, yeah. Sure.
Just like what we're doing, talking about doing here is, we'll take 3 Bs.
That would be one.
What's 10% do?
With the rates, I can make it 24,
That's the operators.
operating.
So the people that would be bidding for this would be the mechanic one or the mechanic two,
Or
the equipment operator.
Well, you know, I know the numbers because I went through this recently, but like, and I'm not saying nowhere close to this now. But we lost an operator because we offered him 28 an hour. He was making 37.50.
The main thing you've got to find, the main thing, is somebody that wants to live in Cary, Florida.
And
That's primary.
yes, sir. And that's like, we've been lucky. We've had 2 employees who live in Perry or close to Perry, still in those jobs. And like I said, I know we'll never get that high, but I would like to see the B operators at like 28. I feel that's enough to keep them here. And then, I think it's high enough in this town. It would probably be a sought after position.
Sure, let me ask you a question. Have you ever thought about maybe talking to someone at the vocational school?
The treatment license, there's material and classes for that. We actually talked to the Big Ben about, mechanic training. And they have classes that the city of Tallahassee will do. But these are 6-month classes. We just don't really have we can't be down the man for 6 months, because they'd have to go to school every day.
Yeah, I mean, that's something like on the job training.
Well, that's what we would do, you know, like today, you got 2 new guys, one here's been a month, one's been here a month, one has been here his 2nd week, or he's been here 3 days, 4 days. Today, because of the storms coming, they're gonna be dealing with electricity generators. They went around, they were taught how to hook them up, what to do. I know that's pretty basic, but, there's not like I haven't really found like a real short kind of electrical class. I mean, Ward may know of one, but at Big Bend, it would go over like pump repair and, you know, replacing bearings and, you know, basically a lot of millwright stuff put in it. I don't necessarily think we need that, but I would like to have some kind of basic electrical training for my guys, because they do electricity every day.
Do you have any answer today?
I mean, no, ma'am. I think more so like, we've got guys now who are hoping they're operators, when they get their licenses, they're gonna get compensated.
That's what we need to go to.
That pay plan would do that.
We'll do it, yeah.
Well, they would, I mean, there should be some compensation. There's got to be.
Or otherwise, what's the point?
That's right.
Well, you are taking on some responsibility.
What the point for them would be for them to get their license with, through us, and then go somewhere else to get more money.
Correct.
But if we don't,
You gotta retain. Have to retain.
Otherwise, you are running a training program.
And we don't really wanna do that. They don't wanna be like where they stop off to get their hours.
yeah, it'd be like the high school or something, they just come in, gone.
All right.
So can we just say yes, and let John?
Why don't you bring back some proposal, something,
I guess
uh,
for now, can we address it similarly to what we just did with the mechanic position, where if we do come up with something, we can agree on it, we can handle it with an amendment later in the year? If we even have anybody applicable by that time,
what's the what?
with the budget amendment later in the year, if we even come across anyone after we come to an agreement on a number.
On the operator?
Yep.
I don't know, no, I don't know what the number is.
I'm saying, once we come up with one, could we address it like that later, if need be?
You'd have to bring it
Oh,
to the
yeah,
council.
yeah, just going through the process.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I guess my point, I just want all of them to know that we will incentivize them to go ahead and get their license. You know what I mean? I don't want them sitting there thinking, well, I don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Not do nothing, so I even bother going to get it.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Any other discussion? We'll move on to agenda item 6M. Council to discuss possibly piggybacking off an Orlando contract for schools on cameras. Council will take any action deemed necessary.
Did they get a copy of the contract, John? So this is, we've been talking about this for about a year. The council passed the ordinance to enact this program. Plantation, Florida, in the Central Florida area is actually where the contract's from. It's very favorable. Towards the city, it's the best one that I've seen of the ones they've presented. It's been piggybacked by other entities to do it.
I'm not gonna put it in there.
He's,
I didn't put it in the Dropbox, so I probably didn't put it else back in.
It's very favorable. There's many cities that have been piggybacking off of it. We just, I guess we need to bring that back and let them review it.
I'd like a copy.
You're followed into a new budget.
Well, we wouldn't pay anything. The city would not pay anything. There's zero cost to the city for this program.
Could be picking up.
Yes.
So they take their percentage of.
Proceeds from-
collectible.
Yeah. So statute breaks down what, if anybody receives a citation, breaks down what goes to which entity. So the city will receive a portion, the school district will receive a portion, of course, the state's gonna take their share as well. Each citation will be no more than $100. And that's statutorily set, $100. The vendor would take,
Only city is 39, I think.
it was weird, like $38, I think the city would get, but about 25% of that would go to the vendor. And the remainder would come to the city. And then the rest of that goes to the school district, the state, for different things, for administration.
Is that after the equipment's paid for, or is that?
That's part of the agreement, period. That's the lease agreement is what it is.
Okay.
They maintain the equipment. We don't have anything to do with the camera, get run over, broke, whatever, they come and replace it. We don't have any investment in anything.
Y'all need to even bring it back to us for any reason?
If you want to just basically see what, if you want to see what the payouts are and what the charges are, yes, we would need to bring it back. I would suggest you look at it.
All right. Agenda item 6N. Excuse me. Yeah, it would be 6N. There's a 6 there. Anyway. Council discuss a grant for the police department crime analyst position and take any action deemed necessary.
This would be funded through what's called the Florida Fusion Center. Fusion Center is a collective of analysts to provide and analyze information for police departments and sheriff's offices or any law enforcement agency in the state of Florida. It's completely grant funded. They pay, the entire salary, benefits, and training for this position, but they would be an employee of the city. The only expense we would have is nothing, the time that we put into it.
All the equipment,
Everything's provided.
for how long?
This has been in place for years and they've never removed one from anyone. We've been told that we've been picked for this because we use an analyst that's close to us so much that they see a need that we have it. for our
What's the name of the group that it's?
Florida Fusion Center, FUSIO,
Was like a analyst, I mean, not analyst, but
intelligence, it's an
forensics,
intelligence group.
intelligence.
Yes. They mainly focus on homeland security infrastructure issues, utilities and things like that. But if they're not doing anything for that specific function, we can use them for any crime intelligence analyst needs we have in the agency.
They have an office here, or
They would have an office inside the police department.
We gotta buy another car.
That's you,
A truck.
We wouldn't have to, all we would have to do is provide the office space.
I'd like to, myself, I'd like to see the documents on this too.
Yes, sir. I provided you the documents. Do you have them?
I thought you were just discussing, I didn't know we were looking at documentation.
Yeah, we will, another meeting soon. If our building's still here.
Hmm.
Hopefully it will be.
We're up at 10.
We can do that too.
What's the?
We can get the documents for you to look at.
Very good. All right, agenda item 6O. Council to discuss the approved award letter for the CDBG grant. Take any action deemed necessary.
We just have, that's just an approval.
Yeah, we were awarded about 2 weeks ago, 2.15 million. That was to repave a bunch of these downtown streets. I tried to get Bill not to let me strike till this was done, but he didn't listen.
John, you need to send these things to us.
us.
I'll present to you in the council meeting. I can start doing that,
Yeah,
but it works better for a newspaper article when we do it here.
this is, a heck of an opportunity. Motion to sign the document.
Second,
That needs to come from.
What's that second word, honorable?
I don't know.
We gotta do
Councilmember Grimes.
Yes,
Councilmember Hampton,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry,
yes,
Mayor Kitchen.
Yes.
Oh. City Manager John Osborne. You are doing an awesome
Right.
job. We appreciate you.
This is the easy part. I don't know anything about the work on the back end.
We thank you.
I don't know how much Carly knows.
a lot, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Get those last minute emails going, hey, we hadn't heard from you, you got till tonight to finish it.
We usually have somebody that walks you through stuff.
I've seen that happen. Okay. But y'all are doing a great job. Thank you.
One of those take. Probably another 6, 7 months where you get the grant agreement and all that signed.
I wish we get somebody just to work grants for you. That'd be sweet. And you're getting to the point where I've seen a lot of them.
I suppose I'll go over tonight and see what we got going on, but it is state time, so we'll have to see state sponsor.
All right,
It's
agenda item 6P. Council to appoint one citizen to serve on the Perry Police Pension Board of Trustees and take any action deemed necessary. It was who I think it is. I had nothing to do with it.
Johnny Catherine, so he could do it.
Motion.
I told him I didn't even know what they did. We were having lunch.
Oh.
We were having lunch and Seth Harper walked up to me and John having lunch and he's on the fire board.
Just put him on one of, like,
It was fire, yeah, fire.
Anyway, he come over and told me, said, yeah, I'm fixing to go to City Hall, do my paperwork, this, that, and the other. Anyway, John said, what's that about? And I said, retirement boards. He said, we can't hardly get anybody to serve on them. And I said, what do they do? I said, I don't know. It got something to do with investments and such. That he said, well, if y'all need somebody, I'll do it. That's how it came about.
That's right.
Yeah.
Motion.
You did, second.
Councilmember Bruns.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes,
Vice Mayor Landry,
Yes,
Mayor Kitchen.
Abstaining. For obvious reasons. Agenda item 6Q, council to appoint one citizen to the planning and zoning board and board of adjustments. And tree board, I guess, and take any action deemed necessary. I thought I had somebody and got a text 2 hours ago saying no. I think it's Form 1. Wasn't I did it.
Sorry, don't have to do that. That Form 1.
Planning and zoning.
Detailed one,
Form 6.
6.
Yeah, so that was the six.
Whichever the form they don't want us to do, financial anything. Is it Form 6 the one that's not so detailed?
That's
Is
the
it?
Form 1's not the detail.
Right,
Form
I
6
think
is a little more involved.
I
Yeah.
thought it was just Form 1
Yeah.
for these positions.
There were some changes recently to that on who had to file a 6. And that was enacted through the last session.
Yeah, initially, we were supposed to file Form 6, then it got overturned. About 2 hours before I was gonna do mine.
So there were some
Found out
changes to
about it.
that.
So are we saying that these people have to do the Form 6 or the Form 1?
They would have to fill out the appropriate form for the position they're seeking.
Well, I understand that, but
This Form 1, the simple one. I mean,
It's
it's
a
what,
simple one, and it's the one.
I had to fill out a bunch of those when I was on.
so do we have anybody?
so I don't know if you can mention.
I even told him he didn't have to come to the meeting, we just put him on it. Just
Now,
let him know later. He didn't think it was funny. Keep
nobody.
looking.
He's
All
looking.
right, agenda item 6R. Council to discuss the meeting LDR text amendment change to increase maximum building height to 50 feet for industrial zone and industrial light and warehouse zone. Basically, all the industrial zonings.
Yeah, if y'all remember last year, we changed it for commercial intensive, for that hotel project. Andy had a RFI come through that needed a 50-foot tower to be put on his land, and his will be industrial. They're not coming, but he wanted to go ahead and be proactive, just go ahead and change it to 50-foot for projects like that.
You have that for a tower?
That's what I was thinking.
Anything over 50 feet.
Maximum
Well,
building.
anything over 35 feet, actually.
But a tower is not really a building.
Not habitable. Or maybe it is.
Depending on what the tower is gonna do.
If it's Trump Tower, yeah, but.
Maybe it's the semantics of the word tower. It might be a structure, actually, so.
Right.
Okay.
Like a control tower. He can actually live on one of those.
Think we need to do anything we can.
Don't think we need to do anything.
No, I think we need to do anything we can to promote.
Yeah,
It's clear up the land. What is that gonna be? What hotel?
the motel?
Marriott,
Marriott.
some sort of a Marriott, I think, in there.
Fairfield, is that the Marriott brand?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marriott's got, like all of them, they have like 10 brands or so.
They all do.
Yeah.
Need a motion to do Motion,
We all have, I think you do.
gotta go back, go to that.
Second.
Then we gotta file, we have to apply for the, they
Mhm.
go through the planning and zoning board.
And then two more back here.
We're a day or two off getting it done, we'll get there.
Councilmember Bruns.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes,
Mayor Kedron.
Yes. And item 6S, you wanna do it tonight or not? All right,
It's gonna be a lot.
agenda item 6T. Approval of minutes from September 9th, 2024 regular session. I do wanna hear all you've been doing there. At some point,
We got a lot going on.
'cause I think there's a lot, at least I see a lot. Anyway, are the minutes good for September 9th?
motion. Oh, I wasn't here, so.
Have a second?
Motion.
Councilmember Bruns.
Shirley made a motion.
Second.
Second,
Councilmember Bruns.
Yes.
Councilmember Hampton.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes.
Mayor Kedron.
yes. City manager,
I think we need a motion, but I'm asking the mayor to go ahead and sign, emergency declaration. I think the only thing it does for us is, changes our purchasing. You do emergency purchase.
cause you gotta have something in a hurry, you ain't got time to drag all this up here and do it.
Yep.
Yeah, makes sense. 7 day. Window,
We are looking. Change all of our phones over to Verizon. To voice over internet, whatever B stands for. It's the same money, it's just $25 a line. I think what we're paying now is 40 or 50. I don't stock in Verizon, it's properly disclosed on financial disclosure, so I want y'all to make a decision. Or somebody said I switched to Verizon myself.
And actually, I presented this to John last year as an option, as a expense that we can produce.
Yeah, going from 40, 50 to 25.
And these phones, you can unplug it, take it home with you, plug it right in if you have internet. Works just like a cell phone almost.
similar to what y'all had at the mill for a while.
It's gonna be aggravating for 2 weeks. You're gonna have two lines till they pour everything over and we'll get through it.
Well, the regular plain old telephone lines are expensive, get very expensive. They're not maintaining them like they used to. Or from what I can tell, they're not.
I just didn't want people to say I was on that.
So what if like during the storm, the cell towers go down, would that still work?
Yeah. If it's wired, as long as you have an internet connection somewhere. It would work.
How many internet connections does the city have, one or two?
Well, that depends, see, we've got one, the city hall has one.
Wastewater has one.
Wastewater, warehouse.
Know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, okay, the main city halls that have two connections or just one.
Just one going in the city hall, the D-Mark.
These phones also plug on that black tower over there. It's right here.
Outside. Yeah.
Yeah, I am lost and confused. Because I can't find any of this information that you keep talking about. In my packet,
Right.
It's not in your packet.
why not?
I put it right there.
I can't see that, John.
So penny per page, 10 cents, we save.
Beg your pardon?
Save 10 cents in paper.
Oh,
But what I'm saying, John, is I would like to know and follow.
What if I got you a tablet?
you.
Here.
Well,
That would
that's
be a
the
good
way
idea,
it is.
actually. Get a tablet and email all this stuff.
I'm not trying to be,
Well, that's something else that we've been working on that we're gonna bring back, as soon as we get it finalized, is present that, and we have some other options.
that would be fine.
We put it in capital
I
outlay.
just
Yes,
like to follow you.
I like, oh,
And
Yeah,
when you said
Draw on
copy of all the ordinances, we don't have that.
trying to train y'all, teach y'all.
No,
Take your time.
don't do it like.
Hey, it's too late.
Go ahead.
Maybe going to voice over IP is where it's been going.
And there's other government entities in our county that currently use this system and it works every day.
Sheriff's office, I think it's one. Is 911 voice over IP now?
Portions of it are, yes. That's why we can port it to another location. We have an event or a disaster problem. Like last year during Idalia, we lost the EOC. We're able to move phones to the airport. You were there and we picked up 911 immediately as soon as we plugged it in.
Would it help if it was added to some type of drive or link? And when you send out the emailed agendas, attach it so that people can pull it up, even if there's no print copy, would that help?
Diane doesn't, she has a copy of my Dropbox link, she can look in there anytime, any day of the week.
My question was, can we add it so that when it goes out, that all the members know that they're new documents versus going through old documents? Would that help? I'm asking the members, would it help them?
I want to be informed, if it's on the agenda,
This is what on the agenda. This is-
It's an informational thing. You
Any
don't,
background information in making decisions?
this isn't really anything we even know about, is it? You're just going from one service to another.
I didn't like that. I have Verizon on my financial disclosure, and then I make a decision to switch to Verizon.
Well, it's probably gonna make the stock double with the city of Perry down. I hope it does.
You're 1% owner.
Well, I think I've heard more than once in this meeting, like, we don't have something, so I think it's very important since the full-time staff does have that information, if any way that you could make it easier without maybe producing so many copies.
Part of the issue this time is me and Stephanie have been scrambling around trying to get this done, and we've just got a lot on our plates right now. And
No, granted, that's why I was saying.
because I've been doing accounts payable, finance.
No, it's not a criticism, I'm just saying.
No, I know,
There's
I'm
an
just,
easier-
no, I'm just
there's
giving you
an
the
easier-
reason, because typically all of this would have been in your packet. We've just been
Here's,
running around.
here's what I would say. There's 24 hours in the day.
Listen.
We'll take volunteers.
Yeah, y'all wanna
Accessing
help.
email to an email would be fairly simple. So you don't have to print it all out. I think it would be more simple than printing it all out.
Don't you use that Dropbox link?
I print it out anyway,
I mean, you go in there now and then and look at.
I do, yeah.
Diane can go at
that's
any second.
Diane,
I've asked if y'all want it.
I want to,
I was just trying to clearly say, how can it be made simple for them?
just for
So you
me,
don't have to go through a whole Dropbox to
for
find
now,
the.
Just print it.
until you get me the tablet, okay? Thank you, sir. We don't have to get upset about it.
Watch it. It just slows me down. That was 3 seconds to get that in there. I pull it up, show you, $25 a line. I don't have to spend
Okay.
20 minutes of her printing it out, putting it in each packet. It's a time saver.
They gotta put these packets together, it's time consuming. Really is. All right, John, you got anything else?
So I wanted y'all to make give the okay to switch to.
Motion.
Second.
Third. Have a fourth.
Councilmember Bruns.
Yes.
Councilmember
Yes.
Hampton. Councilmember, or Vice Mayor Landry.
Yes.
Mayor Ketchum.
Yes, anything else? Done. Done. Hey, you got anything?
No, I'll just ask to be on the next agenda. I probably.
Darla?
We're supposed to get our new accounts payable and payroll and financial reporting system Friday, but with all this going on.
Yeah, it's
we
bad
will
time,
see.
bad time to be switching it.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely switching, but it's just gonna be. a
Yeah, the time is just not great right now.
It was gonna save you a whole lot of time, right? Make everything better.
Eventually, but at the
Yeah,
start,
once
no.
you get- Once you get. it, then-
Yeah. I'm excited, but I wish it was a month away now that we have heard.
Cool. Jamie?
We've been doing nothing but preparing for potential impacts from the tropical cyclone. So that's what we've been doing.
Me too.
Yeah,
Getting the airport ready for Party Central.
that's right. Yeah,
Gonna become a city again.
again, yeah.
So, Danielle,
Get ready for a hurricane. Get ready to start cleaning up when it's done. Just ask everybody be patient.
I'm trying to be patient, but I don't know, maybe 2 months ago, I guess someone started talking about getting trucks that could pick up the trash. And we decided against that. But you made the statement that we were basically caught up.
And then we had tropical or Hurricane Debbie hit. And then DOT is the one coming through and cleaning up, and we're not paying any, we're not paying them to clean up for us. They're gonna do all the cleanup. That gave us time to do we've been doing a lot of right of way cutbacks, alleys, cleaning alleys. We've just been doing a lot of cutting back, but we did not know another hurricane's about to hit. So, I mean, it's just fixing to be all out there, so.
Yeah, it is. So that's been sitting out in the whole neighborhood. They've been sitting there long.
Size difference, what they can pick up for what we can pick up is different too. We can't pick up some of those piles that are out there.
Right.
Because FEMA's supposed to pick them up.
If they want it, the bigger piles like that, they can pick it up, they can handle it.
Well, they have
my
stronger
pile's not
hydraulics
that
or
big,
something.
it's just picked up.
It's been sitting there
I
long.
got some down the street that is, big old tree, so.
Yeah.
Thank you. I know y'all are working hard, I understand that, but it's just so. My
And I'm
sister was
also
here,
short 2 people now. One quit, one for another reason, but, so I'm down 2 men. So, I mean, that's
Do you have any prospects?
not right in there. It's hard to find people
Agree with that.
with the CDL.
what are you doing, requiring them to work?
How long were they with you? That's right. How long were they with you? And,
One of them retired,
okay.
one of them maybe 1.5 years.
So what are you needing? So I can,
Two truck drivers. Two
CDL.
CDL license.
CDL,
CDL A or Bs?
We just, an A is nice, but they don't get paid. We don't require an A. I think is it a B or a C? I don't remember what it's called right now.
Probably a B.
Might be a B. I can't.
C's a
think right
lightweight.
now, But yes, the B is what we require.
Non-articulated trucks, straight trucks. Under a certain weight.
For, Andrew. John. Got anything?
I don't like to speak sitting there. We ordered a bunch of generators today. We'll be here tomorrow. We're gonna try to stage them before the storm. Idalia and Debbie. We were blessed. We didn't have any overflows. We kept all the lift stations powered up. We're getting good at it. So, that's our biggest thing right now. Hopefully, there's no trees that fall and actually damage the structure. As long as that don't happen, I think we should be good. We're still have some repairs that have not done yet from Debbie. And a few upgrades that weren't done from Idalia, because like, we're at the mercy of the electricians and the contractors, their schedules, so, but we're good. I mean, we're 100% operational. The EOC and emergency management have been real good about getting us what we need. So we'll probably have to work a little past 1 o'clock tomorrow. We're gonna have somebody at the plant. We're gonna have somebody at the lab during the storm. to make sure everything comes back online when it switches to generator power. We may have an employee or one of his family members there. Because if it does hit directly, I don't know, like, I think City Hall's a good building, the sewer plant, probably the water plant, so, you know, y'all don't have anywhere to go. That's pretty much it. We'll see how it goes. Probably, I'm gonna be at home, gonna ride it out, hopefully I can get back to work in a timely manner. It took me 2 hours during Idalia. And what the funny thing was, you know who cleared the road on 221? It wasn't the county, it wasn't the state, it was people with tractors, basic citizens. If it wasn't there for them, I would have never got here.
Yeah.
So, county and the state needs to tighten up. But,
We had a tree fall in our neighborhood a couple of years ago when I drove up on it. I said, you want me to call the city? They said, nah. They came back in 2 minutes with 3 chainsaws and it was gone. Pretty quick.
that's our biggest deal right now. No, any questions?
I appreciate y'all getting ready. I mean, I know you're gonna have all the lift stations and all powered up.
That's the plan. Some can go a long time without power,
Yeah,
some cannot.
exactly. It just depends on,
We've done pump down tests and we've timed them to see so we know which ones they are.
yeah.
So the ones that will need, need power the most, they'll have it. As long as they're bringing the generators tomorrow, and, it's supposed to be in the morning. If it comes in the evening, I have to have all the guys in to hook them up. They're supposed to bring me electricians this time.
Mhm.
They brought electricians during Idalia and Debbie, but I asked for those electricians not to ever come back again
Wow.
because they burned one of my lift stations.
Reckless.
They know they were doing. And, so hopefully that'll, if we use the great Kenny Dalton, he helps us a lot. Ron's Electric did a lot of weatherheads and stuff for us. I say, we got plenty of practice, we're ready to go.
It's gonna be that thing. System out there at Pine Ridge again, probably.
Yeah, that's the biggest, hopefully all the weak trees were knocked down during Idalia, won't get bad. That's the biggest.
A good part of it's underground power now, so they can bring a whole pile of them back up at once.
What I may do, I meant to do it today. Need to get with the paper. Show them the plugs they need for the E1s, because they have generator plugs on them. For 20 amp plugs.
Yeah.
Maybe some kind of simple diagram, how to hook them up, and I wanna say maybe at least. I have to make sure of what kind of watt generator you have to run it, but I'd like to put that in paper.
Don't worry about mine, mine's gonna be good.
Make sure it's absolutely correct.
Well,
We don't want.
Not right there. They're just so empty.
it will, I'll try to find something, I may not be able to do it before the storm, but. It's just education for them. To know that. When the power's out, they're not on septic tank, they gotta have power. A lot of people don't know where the breaker's at till they're E1. Sometimes they trip during the storms, and when the power comes back on, and these E1s. If they're submerged for quite a while, they go out. So we keep about 10 or 11 spares on hand. Last storm, we went through about 26. So. I did that back in Idalia, we went through 26. So. That's the biggest. Where we're lacking is You had to go to every individual house, plug it in,
Up and down,
yeah. we-
rinse and repeat.
Yeah, and we tried during Idalia, but it was so much debris, it wasn't easy. So. And that's one of the reasons we have a side by side. It would be nice to have some more side by sides or stuff like that,
Yeah.
because we couldn't get trucks in there.
I don't want any way to, he couldn't hardly walk in there,
Right,
a lot of places. Trees were so matted up.
so. Anyway,
Good
Well, I
job,
know,
Sean.
yeah, I know during Idalia, we didn't hardly lose any services. And I'll thank every one of y'all for that. And I have no doubt it's gonna continue right on through this next storm. I mean, gas, water, sewer, everybody just, I know they take it for granted, it's just there, but there's a reason why it's just there.
they need like 2
Those are-
generators. I gotta have like 30.
My gas will power everybody's generators.
67.
Have fun, people.
So anyway, thank y'all and Gary.
We've just been prepared for the storm, just like every other department. And hopefully don't get too much more damage on the parks, so we can continue better than what they were before. Or after Idalia, before Idalia. Trying to make as much prepared as we can. Hopefully we don't get too much worse than what we are.
Just
Y'all have any
take
questions?
just take it as it comes and do the best you can, is all you can do. Something.
First, let me thank each of you all. Because if it was not for you guys, I don't know what would go on in the city.
Very
Was
little.
at a meeting early in the morning, from Troy, Alabama. But you get a lot of complaints, but I want you to know that you all appreciate it. We don't realize just what you all do to keep services going for the city of Perry. The water, the streets, clean, everything. Then you have to leave your families and stay in the city hall or wherever it is you all live during the hurricane. Can't be with your family. So I just want to say you're very appreciated. Each of you. Okay? Okay, now. Please. Listen to your constituents. They matter. They pay our bills. Listen to them sometimes. And I'm through. Y'all be safe.
Thank you. Slander.
Y'all pray for me and I pray for you.
I missed y'all last meeting. But I was recovering from hip surgery. I'm doing well. Able to be here tonight, thankful for that. I too am going to Troy, Alabama tomorrow. My son's gonna come get me and take me out of the storm, he thinks, if it doesn't follow us. So, I thank y'all. You do a tremendous job and stay up here and all that you do. I appreciate it. I don't have anything else. I just. My trash big.
That's Brian's.
Please.
I'm looking at resolution 2418.
Bill. Bill. What's that?
I seen him do that.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Oh, is that real?
What? What happened? I mean,
That's
Or do you-
underground?
Last week,
What'd you fall into?
no, we contractor's running the lines over there on the south end of town right now, hit a water main while they're running a bore at 5 o'clock, so we fixed it, we got out of there.
Wow.
I think from the time I got the call to the time they were, that's almost 3 hours. So you don't know what you're working on until you feel what you're working on. That's the,
At
you
least
gotta
it
get it, you
wasn't,
gotta find it so you can get the appropriate parts to fix it up. That's it.
at least it wasn't freezing weather.
Freezing, the water be warmer.
And I had no idea.
That was that front street water.
That's one of those days where you walk around in shorts for the rest of the day.
That was, about 6:30 in the evening.
I was talking about that day I ran into it and you were in shorts and
Oh,
flip
yeah,
flops and,
yeah.
cause you've
Same
been
situation.
soaked. Yeah.
But that hole, I'm actually standing
You got
flat
it.
footed at the top. I'm not squatted down. I'm
24,
flat.
19. Go to the
I was
fifth,
drowned.
whereas says final public hearing to adopt on September 24 at 5:01. You need to say something as soon or as soon thereafter or something. Like tonight, we something,
Can I add that in now?
I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay, just for next year.
In the future,
I just copied what she had last year, but
yeah.
I knew you legally had to do it after 5 o'clock, since it had to be 5:01.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
That's right.
Good thing is, I did send it to Trim, they did approve it, so it should be okay for them.
I got a call, not from a property owner, from a neighbor that lives in the area, thanking for mowing that lot in front of that retired teacher's house.
Hampton?
Where?
Henley?
You don't know that. You had to tell me. The one
So
that,
I'll have,
the one that, we got the guy to put the machine in there and try it last year.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Force remotion it.
my guys might have done it on their own.
but anyhow,
We contracted it.
Yeah,
the
so
neighbor,
he's saying we mowed it.
and I also had a call
I can't take responsibility for it.
concerning gas. And he bought a generator runs on natural gas. He said they did a fantastic job hooking that generator up to his house. That's it.
Thank y'all for everything. I know we got a tough few days ahead of us. I'm not going to Troy, Alabama. Although some of my family did, but, you want anything, I'll be in town. Y'all have my number, so.
At the next meeting on October the 8th. Is that when we, are meeting at 4 o'clock?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay.
Has someone called me?
Whatever they-
Changed that.
Oh, yeah, they'll be here tonight.
That's the last track right there going.
Tallahassee,
Yeah.
because it's on the ugly side.
Gives us on the other side, worst surge, worst tornadoes, worst winds.
Mm-hmm.
Works everything.
Yeah.
Lasts longer.
Well, I try to explain to everybody, they look at the eye of it and it's like looking at a little hole in a 10-inch saw blade. Anyway, thank y'all very much and please stay safe.
Looks like. My family's going. Oh.
Only.
The land of,
That's the emergency order.